Welcome to the Thunderdome, Lowrance. Lowrance ActiveTarget is finally a true competitor to Garmin's LiveScope system. We're just going to forget about the live site incident for now. Yeah, that never happened. But is ActiveTarget as good as LiveScope? Well, stay tuned. I, a LiveScope owner, will make some direct comparisons and see if ActiveTarget is as good as LiveScope. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm James and this is Clearwater Fishing. If you love fishing, you love fishing tech, you love all things fishing, well, you've come to the right place. Smash that subscribe button and that notification bell and you'll see all things fishing related on this channel. Lowrance's ActiveTarget is a direct competitor to LiveScope. Humminbird, that Mega Live imaging, I'm not quite sure it's gonna make it there. It's still up in the air, but I have my doubts. If you wanna see more about Hummingbird's Mega Live imaging, I do have a video on that. You can check it out in the cards above or in my link that I have in the description. But first, let's hop on over to the computer. I got both websites open, both for ActiveTarget and LiveScope. We'll talk about the features and some of the sample images that they provide. And myself, as a LiveScope owner, will put the LiveScope stuff in actual perspective. It's not quite as good as the images they put on there, and I'm pretty sure Lowrance will be kind of the same way. But anyways, we can do the direct comparisons of some features, some images, and let's see if ActiveTarget is as good as LiveScope. Moving on over to the computer here. First thing that shows up on the ActiveTarget webpage is this fantastic image here. You can see that we have a tree, probably 10 to 15 foot tall by looking at the diameter of it maybe. I'm just guessing here. We got a fish, he got spooked, he swooped this way. You got another fish over here that you can see clearly. And then you got this guy catching this fish as well. But that's not really what I want to focus on. Yes, you can actively target this fish here. You can see the line, the lure dropping down. Oh, he's got it. Oh, he's got it. He's going to catch him. All right. I want to talk about some of the other details that are shown in this image, like this log on the bottom. You can see it's probably a log. It could be a rock formation. You could tell a little better if you turn the transducer, I believe. You got a couple rocks here as well, and then another rock here, and then it looks like probably some grass clumps starting to form here. Some really high detail stuff here. I'm really impressed with this particular image. If this is what we're getting, wow. Moving on down the web page here, highest resolution. Well, I can definitely tell you the resolution looks awesome. Multiple views. We got forward, down, and scout view. We'll talk more about that here in a minute. Easy to use, simple to find and see fish, follow the direction, and place your lure right on top of them. Sounds a lot like LiveScope. We're going to keep moving on down. First, look at the transducer over here on the right side. As you notice, it is a combination of 3 transducers, pretty similar to the LiveScope. You got this one that's angled kind of forward. You got the flat one that is angled downward. And then this one on the back side you can't see, but it is angled upward. So you got forward, down, and then kind of backward. So pretty similar design to the LiveScope. So I expect it to have similar performance. You got the little temperature probe here, not a big deal. Want to talk about the image here and my first and only complaint that I know of so far. We start at 13 feet. Can we please put the 0 here? It's not a big deal. It's a simple programming thing. But let's put the 0 right here. That way I don't have to do math. That when something's 20 feet in front of me, that's actually just 7. Not a big deal, not a deal breaker, but still, can you please fix that, Lowrance? Thank you. We do have a directional for our beam location. Looks like it's pointed straight out in the front. I'm not sure what all is entailed in that. It doesn't talk too much about how it does that. We do have a direction for the beam, so we can actually pinpoint some waypoints if we wanted to mark some trees or something. Got some fish on here. I'm not buying the detail. I mean, Garmin provided this kind of detail in their preview, So I'm not quite buying on being able to see fishtails and that kind of thing. But hey, if we can, whoa, that puts them way up here. Another thing I want to talk about in this image is the detail that we are getting on trees that are 30 and 40 feet out. I can count the number of branches on this tree. If we're actually getting that, that's pretty phenomenal. On LiveScope, in my own usage, usually this tree will end up being a blob about 30 feet out. You won't get this kind of detail that far out. You'll have a blob, you'll move in on it, and then you'll start building more and more detail the closer you get to it. Oh, we got some professionals here that really probably just sponsored by Lowrance, but not going to knock them down. But you got Mike Ecanelli, Jordan Lee, Skeet Reese, and Gary Klein. All I think are going to be using this in the near future. ActiveTarget sonar, we're not going to watch the video. I don't own the video, so I'm not going to watch it here in front of you guys, but be more than welcome to come to Lowrance's website and watch it for yourself. Going to talk about some of the images here. We got a scout view, which is really, really hard to tell what's going on here. I'm a little disappointed that they're not providing a little context. Looks like a building maybe with something fell down in it. I can't really tell. I wish I'd had a little more context of what the image actually is. You could tell that it's just a snippet off of a larger image. We have a down view, which you can see the boulder pretty clearly here. Some bait fish off of it, and maybe some predator fish over here to the right. This is kind of what I'm more expecting to see more all the time, not the fishtails and that kind of thing. So don't get me wrong, I think we're going to get some really high quality details with ActiveTarget, but I don't think it's going to be, hey, you're going to be able to see the fins on the fish. And lastly, we got this forward view of a bridge, some fish, probably some crappie underneath it, maybe some bass out here a little further out. Really, really solid detail. This almost looks like a down scan image, but you can definitely tell it's made from a live transducer, active targeting. You can see kind of where they stitched the image together, so it's not a down image by any means. Once again, we got that image we talked about earlier with 3 fish that you can see the fins on. Not really buying that quite yet, but I am pretty impressed that we could count the branches on these trees that are 30 or 40 feet out. Let's talk about the views real quick. The forward view is a pretty standard view for all live systems. This one, we're seeing a repeat of the video we saw up front, but being able to see the front view is pretty awesome. We got a down view of a bridge here. Really good probably for ice fishing or maybe some vertical jigging. Great view there. I use 99% of the time I'm using the forward view. Right now the way I have my LiveScope system set up, it's really not convenient to change the view. I use a transducer pole and all that kind of stuff, but I really like to use forward view all the time. And then we have scout view. This is a view I wish I could use more often. LiveScope using the perspective view. It's called perspective on LiveScope. This is scout view on Lowrance. The detail here, comparing it to the images that I've seen of Garmin, this looks really comparable. This is a direct competitor also to me for Mega 360. Look at that image. Wow, that looks fantastic. Moving on down, we're going to talk about the mounting options real quick. Mounting it to the trolling motor itself doesn't seem to be quite ideal because if you want to do the scout view, you have to rotate the mounting system all the way up on top of your trolling motor. It seems like the more reasonable way to do it is to do a shaft mount, which it does come with the special mounting hardware to do this mount, so you can do forward, down, and scout view all from the equipment that is in the package, so you don't have to buy anything extra like you do with Garmin. The units that it's compatible with, everyone wants to hear about this. HDS Live, the new Elite Fishing System, FS, and the HDS Carbon units will all be compatible with the active targeting system. Obviously, now with the new active targeting system, if you decide to buy it, you can have a complete system, trolling motor, fish finders, and a live targeting system to control everything electronic on your boat. For the first time ever, I'm considering converting completely to Lowrance products, trolling motor, fish finders, and active targeting. But before I get ahead of myself, let's hop on back over and look at the features of the LiveScope system and see if there's anything that LiveScope has that active targeting doesn't. Oh yeah, first thing here is the price. $1,500 for the LiveScope system. The active targeting system is also going to cost you $1,500 as well. It does have a black box on the active targeting system. It is must needed if you're going to run 3 transducers, compute all that information into a live image, and get it to your fish finder. It is a must-have. I don't think there's any way to get a comparable image without it. That's just my personal opinion. Humminbird, I'm talking to you right now. We're going to see what they come up with. But let's move on, keep going on the LiveScope. LiveScope here, yes, we get all 3 modes. We get the forward, we get the perspective, and we also get the down. Nothing too surprising there. We didn't get to see any type of ranges for active targeting, but by looking at what we saw, looks like it's going to be pretty comparable. I'm not too worried about ranges. Typically, I don't fish any deeper than 30 feet, 40 feet. That's about the limit of the depth I fish, and I'm not going to be looking for things that are 200 feet out either. That's just me, how I fish. Maybe that's a game changer for you, but for me, it's not. I have highlighted here already, the system stabilizes the view on your chart plotter. Lowrance active targeting didn't talk about that. I'm not going to say that they don't have it at this point, but if they don't have it, it is a game changer. We did see that they had a direction on their transducer beam versus the boat. So it makes me think they have some type of system. Otherwise, I don't think they would have the high image quality that they shown us unless the water was completely still that day. I think they have something like that. They just didn't talk about it, but it is extremely important for live imaging to have some kind of image stabilization. Otherwise, your image is just going to be bouncing, and it's going to be really hard to translate your lure versus a fish. Moving on down, nothing here that's surprising to me. Hey, clear sonar, real time, exactly what active targeting is. Got some sample images here. I don't see anything that is not comparable to active targeting. The image stabilization, the altitude heading reference system, that's the system that I was talking about just a second ago. If active targeting doesn't have something like that, it's going to be kind of a rough time for the imaging system. Obviously, it's won some awards. I expect active targeting to win some awards. The last thing I want to talk about here is in order to get the perspective mode, which is the scout mode on active targeting, you have to buy a special mount from Lowrance to get that. I don't know why they don't just include that in the box now. Active targeting, you don't have to buy that, so that's an extra $100 you don't have to spend. So the question you guys came here for me to answer, is active targeting as good as LiveScope? Well, the simple answer that I can give you right now, yes, it is as good as LiveScope. It may be even a little better. We'll wait and see. I want to see some more images come out of it before I make that assumption. But I believe it's going to be at least as good, if not better, than LiveScope. As a LiveScope owner, I am actually really excited about this new technology coming out. Competition is always good in the fishing industry, especially around technology. It always pushes other manufacturers to make their product just that much better or that much more cost effective, so we get products at a lower price. As far as release dates, I didn't see anything on the website that indicated that it was going to be released anytime before Christmas or anything. I do believe it's going to be coming out around the same time as Humminbird's Mega Live, which is coming out in March of 2021. So next March, we should be getting some of this new stuff, new technology, and having more and more information about it. For the first time ever, like I said earlier, I am considering completely converting to Lowrance after seeing some of the information on here. And I'm talking trolling motor, I'm talking units, I'm talking whatever else they have. It was extremely impressive to me, and I am definitely considering it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more information about active targeting as it comes out, and also for more information about other live imaging systems that may be coming out in the near future. But like always, until next time, get out there and go catch you some fish.